I would now like to call up my sister BBG, Aria Title, for honorary lifetime membership.
Hi everyone. I'm sweating a bit. I'm very nervous. Okay. To light my candle, I call up Jeffy Sickrell and all of 41, Sage Siegel, Claire Frank, Shane Wall, Dylan Brown, Haley Miroff if she's here, Haley Cohen, Marlo Baker, Hannah Alper, Ezra Weinroth, and I would like Claire Frank to read.
By the power vested in me by BBYO Lake Ontario Region, I hereby welcome you, Aria Title, my bestest of friends, as a lifetime member of the International Order of the B'nai B'rith Girls. May you continue to lead with a free and joyous heart and a mind that is filled with thoughts of deeds that are pure and noble.
Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna try my best not to cry, but I can already feel it coming. So I'm just gonna warn you all now. So after asking one too many people how to start the speech, I just opened up my laptop and started looking things up. So eventually I was looking up 15 ways to start a speech. Start with a positive statement. How to start a speech, 12 foolproof ways. And then at 7 something, I lost track of time and opened up Netflix. So it seems to be relevant for the speech because I've lost track of time, of my time in BBYO, and I'm already up here telling you about my time in BBYO. And since joining, I've met some of my closest friends, and I've had the best experiences in high school through BBYO. It's very baffling to me to hear myself talking up here virtually. And if you would have told me that this is what my life speech would look like, I would not have believed you. But now we're all here, and obviously you're all here to listen to me talk about my BBYO experience. So in grade 9, 2 very important people in my life told me about this thing called BBYO, and those people would be Shane Wall and Haley Miroff. At first I was skeptical, but I gave it a try, and I did not enjoy my first program. I don't even remember what it was. It wasn't my speed at the time. My schedule was very packed, and grade 9 was awkward. It's usually very awkward when you look back on it, but I was in between friend groups. I developed anxiety, and I didn't know at the time that I needed a constant like BBYO in my life. My first real time considering BBYO was at the end of grade 9 in Haley Miroff's backyard during states and installs. And for me, it was the first time being able to experience real traditions and sisterhood in addition to meeting Megan. Coincidentally, the next year I became Megan's sweetheart, and that was really the beginning of my BBYO career. I started to attend weekly programs and became more active in L'chaim. In grade 10, many or not so many of you may have known I went through a traumatic health experience that put me in the ICU for a few days. I won't go into detail, but it put me in a really tough spot at the time. I was anxious about everything. I cut bangs. It was not the best time in my life. Then SpringCon came around, and it seemed like a good opportunity to get involved and see what regional conventions were really like. So my first convention was SpringCon 2019, where I made lots of memories and watched my very first life ceremonies, like many of you are here today. I felt really bad getting overly emotional about these people I barely knew, talking about everything they've done within this organization. The life speeches of the seniors that year really made an impact on me and inspired me to get even more involved in BBYO. The day after, Devin, the Nasia at the time, told me to run for Nasia because no one else had declared for it at the time. So I did, and I was elected to Nasia of L'chaim. During my term, I was supported by my regional counterpart, Miss Hannah Alper, and developed a friendship with a Havas Nasia at the time, Haley Cohen. And the President's Network overall was extremely supportive and beneficial in contributing to my newfound leadership. And I got to work very closely with some of my closest friends. Obviously, there were bumps like most boards have, but the rest of the year was mostly smooth sailing, and L'chaim slowly started to expand. At FallCon 2019, L'chaim had 15 members, and we won the Spirit Gavel at Chapter Showcase with an amazing song written by Nicole and Sidonia. During our chapter prep for Fall Convention, we were creating the banner, and immediately after, no one realized there was no H, as many of you know, but because we were geniuses, we incorporated that into the song, and it got us the win. In the months after that, we planned new programs, an unforgettable global Shabbat, courtesy of Nicole and Sidonia. And that year, Claire Frank joined L'chaim, which I will be forever grateful for since she was our only active senior and became one of my closest friends at the time. In March of 2020, there was some trouble. We planned a chapter rush program at the AGO, but it was really just 7 L'chaim members at the AGO. And that was right before COVID hit. BBYO wasn't canceled, it was just online, but it was really hard to maneuver, but it took some figuring out and we did it successfully. And then in spring of 2020, I decided to run for regional board to make an even bigger impact within the region. My parents were skeptical. They didn't think I'd be able to juggle my school and my extracurriculars with the responsibility of being on regional board. But since we've been in and out of lockdown, they are now extremely grateful for this experience. Although it was definitely not the ideal year, being shlicha has been one of the best experiences of my life. And I was forever thankful to be elected with Jeffy. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but the last 6 to 7 months, because most of you have had similar experiences and were at similar BBYO events. This past year, like for many of you, has been very hard for me. So after 3 years of being at the school I loved, in the program that taught me everything I knew about art and media, my parents pulled me out of the school because of COVID. So I've been online at school since September. And although I was lucky to have amazing teachers and one who motivated me to get into student council, I hadn't been into the school. So there was no environment to make friends. I had no sense of routine, no sense of myself, and hadn't left my house more than a few days a week. The only consistency in my life during like this year was BBYO. It took a lot of energy to motivate myself with shlicha, but I managed to get into it and get involved. So this is my advice to you all. I have a few points of advice. Get involved in the region. I'll tell you all, it can be overwhelming or seem like too much work, but you have to take the chance while you still can. Like I said before, I remember sitting where you all are now at Camp George 2 years ago, watching the seniors talk about their experiences and being so upset that I hadn't joined or done anything sooner. Get involved and you will not regret it. Keep in touch with seniors and regional counterparts. Keep in touch with the people you look up to in the region and people that you know will want to help you, me included. Please keep in touch with me. I still keep in touch with some of the seniors I look up to and have found a support system in them. And I feel like it can be very overlooked. I know we all say reach out whenever, but we do mean it. Take advantage of the help. Go to IC. I feel very hypocritical saying this because I didn't go to IC. I had to pick between March of the Living and IC and could not predict the future because of COVID-19. My March of the Living trip was canceled. So my advice to you is predict the future and make sure there are no viruses ahead of time before you have to pick what trip you go on. Take a breather and take care of yourself. BBYO can get overwhelming. We all know it. You come first. You and your mental health come first, and it can be hard to take a step back and be like, wow, I'm really stressed out. I would know because I just went at things nonstop all the time. My coping mechanisms would just be crying and working through the blurred vision of my tears because I didn't know how to take care of myself, and I'm still learning how to do that. And especially with university coming up, I would really like to learn how to do that because I don't want my professors or TAs to read my work and have it all be incoherent sentences because I didn't take a step back and calm down. Do your own thing and be your own person, be a leader, not a follower, and take what you learn here and apply it to your everyday life. I'll let you interpret that however you want, but for me, I've learned so much in BBYO to apply to my everyday life. Now for a few thank yous, I want to thank Kevin and Hannah. I want to thank Rachel Goldberg for being a huge support system and one of the many friendly faces I saw when I first came to BBYO. Ray, I think she's here, but I don't know, for being someone I went to for BBYO stuff and not BBYO stuff. 41st Regional Board for being amazing this year. Obviously, this isn't the year that we thought it would be, but we persevered and we got through it together. I want to thank L'chaim for being my favorite place to be at after a long day and my favorite faces to open Zoom to. I want to thank the BBGs. Some of you I don't know well, and some of you are my closest friends, but you are all amazing, beautiful people, and never stop being you. I want to thank Jeffy for being an amazing counterpart. We will be catching up on our swim laps next year. I would like to thank the seniors from the past years that I have at some point crossed paths with, and the ones that I'm close with as well. Thank you for inspiring me, and thank you for being there for me on a deep and personal level. I want to emphasize my admiration. I want to emphasize my admiration to you all, this year's seniors. Congratulations. And now I will do my submitted. Oh, also, I think we have to revive BBYO London. Submitted with undying love for my BBGs, for bathroom breakdowns, for good self-esteem, for a Hot Girl chapter, for being mutuals, for being not canceled but just online, FaceTime concerts, international board and Nicaea crossovers, regional Jews, being the regional Gisboree also, BBG PowerPoint nights, my senior BBGs, the lovely Shrichim teams, K-Goods, Second Chances, 41 is so fun, the Rachel Goldberg fan club, the Green M&M, L'chaim BBG number 2444, LOR number 36, the seniors of 2021. I forever remain Aria title, a damn proud BBG. And sorry, to blow out my candle, I call upon Lisa Cohen, Roman Abramovich, Nicole Lang, Sidonia Temeshtet, Taylor Levy, Allison Slofsky. Oh, I'm so sorry. The seniors of 2021 and L'chaim, BBG, and to read, I'd like Sidonia and Nicole to read.
Right now? Yeah, sorry. We love you. Okay, sorry. By the power vested in us by Lake Ontario Region and the International Order of the B'nai B'rith Girls, we hereby induct you, Aria title, as a lifetime member.